Now, grand grade.
Yep.
You are a grand grade.
I am a grand grade, yep.
Now, what happened to, is it your brother?
Which one? Benny?
The one that was driving the cab.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's down south right now.
Where did he go?
He is living in Greenville, North Carolina with my parents.
Okay.
Because
Is that
after
where you guys are from, Norma?
No. He was born in North Carolina. I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh.
Yeah, and my other brother was born in North Carolina also. So,
right.
yeah. So driving, he went down to take care of my parents, who I lost both my parents in 2009, which was like devastating to me. I don't even know how I came out of it. If it wasn't for God, I don't know how I would have handled it.
They both died?
They both passed away in 2009. Yep. My father passed away July 25th. And my mother died December 12th. As a matter of fact,
was it here or did they live down
They both lived down south. They
Oh.
just retired. They sold a piece of property up here, and then they moved down south. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So how are you
It's
doing
tough.
now?
A little better. It's something that you wish that you could just I don't know how you say it, but just like put it behind you, but you can't. It's something that you live with your entire life. I mean, who are you closer to other than your parents? You have your parents, you have your brothers. If you have sisters, you have sisters. And it's seeing one thing in the newspaper where someone passes away and you're like, oh, geez. Or maybe a favorite actor or actress or something that you follow, whatever, like Michael Jackson or something, whatever. That's one thing. But then when it really hits home, it's not just going to affect you. It's going to affect your family. It's going to affect your friends. And it's like a big, giant circle. It affects your work. It affects everything. And yeah, it's a huge.
But time
huge
does have an effect too.
Time does have an effect. It kind of lessens it a little bit. Maybe it's just, maybe not so hard on your heart.
Right.
But it really, it really
So do you have
stays with
anyone
me.
now that you're close to here? I mean, do you have any more?
I have my brother here.
Yep.
Yep. We're both living in my parents' house.
Oh,
so
okay.
he lives upstairs. I live downstairs, whatever. And I've never really gotten along with either one of my brothers. Only because it's like from the time I was like 4 years old up until just before I hit teens, I was in a hospital for like 8 years. So there was that separation.
What was wrong with you?
Well, it's hypopituitarism.
Okay.
So it's a lot of different things.
All right.
They were trying to help me, and my parents signed the forms and everything. So I basically spent 8 years in a hospital. So there's a separatism there.
Yeah.
From being in a hospital and this, that, and the other, and not seeing your family, and not birthdays, anniversaries, Christmases, Thanksgivings. Halloween's coming up, things like that.
Right.
So there's a separation there, whatever, but it still doesn't mean that they weren't my parents. I didn't love them to death.
Of course.
That kind of thing. So,
Well,
yeah.
your relationship with your brother obviously has gotten better.
Oh yeah,
you
much
can live-
better. I
right.
have no idea how that possibly happened, and that was like one of the things my mom says was just like, for once, I wish you guys would just like get along. Maybe before I die, you guys are gonna get along. And I mean, it's a fight. It's a fight. It
Well,
really is.
families are
But
like that everywhere.
Families are
I've
like
got the
that
same
everywhere. Yeah,
issues.
we all have skeletons in
You
our
better
closet.
believe it.
And I've got 3 padlocks on my door.
Well, I can say one thing though. You must get some appreciation of working here at this place.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Right?
I mean, it's like.
I mean, you've been a fixture here for how
Yeah.
many years?
Well, I was volunteering in 1974, and then I started full-time in 78. So, yeah, it's a
my
long, long time. And I've seen, kids come up, kids have children. Now their kids are having grandchildren and stuff like that. It's an amazing feat. But, I mean, I see that, of course, times change. Kids never change. They're so resilient with everything that goes on around them. They might have a bad day at school or whatever, and the club is the perfect place for that because then they can put that behind them. They can have a team. They can meet their friends here. They can play some games. They just take that weight off their shoulders and really just be a kid. And what's wrong with being a kid when you're a kid? Nothing. It's the most perfect medicine is for kids to be able to relax, have fun, do sports, and have a great time. And that's what we're here for. And that's what we're supposed to do as a staff. You need to nurture that, i.e., you got to be with what the kids do right here. Drug-free.
Got it. Right.
You're going to try to let them understand what it is, why it's important to be drug-free, why it's important not to drink, why it's important not to smoke, and things like that, And you can't just hit them in the face with it. You got to really, talk to them and let them understand the reasons why these things, things are going on in this, that, and the other. So, and that affects everything that's in the child's life.
How do you know? I mean, you see, there's 300 kids here at one
Yeah,
time.
it's very, very busy.
How can you tell if there's a problem? How do you? After so many years, can you recognize?
It's really basically a read. Someone walks in,
Do you
their head's
watch
a little
these kids?
down.
Do you watch
Oh, I
it?
definitely do. Yes, I can definitely tell when things aren't doing well or whatever and this and that. And that's why I'm right there to say, hey, I'm sorry that you don't feel well today, but maybe tomorrow it'll be a lot better. And if you need to talk to me or talk to someone else on the staff, that's what we are here for, is to be there for that child. And also, besides that fact, first thing coming out of my mouth is, hey, how are you doing in school? How's things at home? Things like that, because, that gives a person a feeling of, hey, this person cares about me. And I do care about every single child that comes to the club.
Yep.
We have so many new kids every single year that it's really, it's tough. It's tough because you can't be right there one-on-one. And that's one thing that all Boys and Girls Clubs across America cannot do. We can't do one-on-one because it's one or two staff in a room watching over quite a few kids, But to notice those instances of someone walking in, their head's down a little bit, or
Sure.
they're slumping into the club and they don't really, maybe they're sick or whatever, but they can't really go home. Both the parents are working. I mean, this has been going on. It's Nantucket. I mean, you gotta have 2 jobs. You gotta, produce or do whatever you can for that child.
That's why
That's
I
the
think
biggest
that
things.
this place is one of the more next to the hospital.
Yeah.
I'd say, and the school system. This
Yeah, of
is
course.
really,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it comes to well-being,
Yeah.
this is one of the top.
And it makes it easy for us because when we work together as a whole, and I mean a community, when a community is involved in that, that's what makes the biggest difference. Because when you're working as a community, everyone is talking to each other and everyone knows, hey, this person's not doing well, blah, blah, blah. Keep an eye on them. Maybe you can build them up, get them in
Yeah.
a team, whatever. And you understand that too. That's all part, that's a lot
Did
of
you
fun.
learn that
Slash-
as after so many years? Is this something that you constantly are learning about, or is?
I mean, I think every day is different. I mean, I come in here and it's like I'm leaving everything else that's going on in my life outside the door. I
Right.
try to anyway.
Yeah.
And when I step in this door, it's just like, wow. It's like something that's fresh and new every single day.
How do you deal with the diversity of the children? You got kids from Latin America, you've got Eastern European kids, you've got Southern black
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
the white kids. I mean, how does all that?
Yeah,
how's that all
it's a
work?
huge pot. But isn't America a huge pot of
right.
different people from different countries getting together and having issues and solving those issues and stuff like that? And you don't really understand it maybe as a kid. It's a little difficult. Sometimes it's difficult for an adult to understand that. But diversity is what really makes America better. Because we're not just one type of people, we're all types of
I
people.
agree, and I'll
We're
tell you, I
all
don't
types
know
of
how
people.
many other places we go to, even as adults, where we see this kind of mixture of different cultures.
Oh, most definitely.
So you really are training these kids, whether
Well,
they know it or not.
I'm not only teaching them, they're teaching me.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, I don't speak the best Spanish. I could pick up every other word or whatever, and I wish I was more fluent in Spanish. We have a few people on our staff that are Spanish speakers and stuff like that, and that has helped a lot. Portuguese, Spanish, Bulgarian, whatever. And it's all about getting along. It's really about listening to each other and seeing how we can find the answers to whatever problem presents itself.
And before the kind of the last question I wanted to ask you is, the Boys and Girls Club is not just about sports.
No,
and
no,
playing.
no. Oh, no, absolutely not. No, we have a great power system downstairs for homework, power hour time. So the first thing I say is, have you done your homework? First words out of my
But
mouth
most of
is,
these
have you
kids
done
take
your
it
homework?
home with them.
Some of them do, but some of them, sometimes the parents are working so hard, they don't have time for that
Did
child.
they actually tell you
Whatever,
to,
do that.
to see if you can get their homework done?
They don't ask me per se, but they'll say, just come here. And all the little kids call me Los. And they walk over and they're like, hey, I need help with this problem, whatever. I'm like, well, there's power hour downstairs and you can earn, some time there and you could have a pizza party or ice cream party or whatever. A small reward. And it's really not much. But that little bit of help really does go a long, long, long way. And we have to be there for them. We really do have to be there for them every single day.
Do you see yourself doing anything else? It's
kind of weird you say that because no. I have no idea why I jumped into this work. I had several jobs before it, but it really feels to me like it was a perfect fit for me. Yeah. My size. I can't see you because you're with the kids, whatever, you get that all
You
the
fit
time.
in
Whatever.
well.
But I always wear a staff shirt.
Sure. Yep,
So,
yep.
things like that.
Sure.
So, I really feel that this is the perfect place for me. Not all of us are born to work at McDonald's. Not all of us are born to be top businessman, a cameraman, or whatever.
Sure.
So sometimes, you know, you have to hit a few jobs before you find something that's really going to fit like a glove. And for me,
It's your
that's this
ana.
place right now.
It's the Hawaiian word. It's what you give out.
Yes.
And what you feel good about doing.
Yes, exactly.
It's part of you.
And how much better it makes you as a person.
That's right.
It really does. It really does.
Well, I'm glad we had this chat.
Well, I'm not so happy about the camera.
You'll
Yeah, I'm
be
glad
all
we
right.
did that too.
All right. Well, thanks,
Yeah.
Carlos.
All right.